Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a Q&A, but before I sit down and start chatting with you guys, we are gonna make an iced coffee together. I get a lot of questions about how I make my iced coffee, so I thought I would show you guys how I do that, and then we will jump into all the questions. Okay, for this iced coffee, all you're gonna need is some coffee creamer. This is my favorite, the Vanilla Natural Bliss. I have a cup full of ice, my Folgers classic roast coffee, and then I have the Ninja coffee maker, and I'm gonna put a coffee filter in right here. Okay, so I just put my little coffee filter in right here. I just buy the regular ones, but this coffee maker is supposed to have like the little triangle ones. This one works fine though. And then I take my coffee. This is a brand new container, and it smells so good. When you first open up a new thing of coffee, y'all know what I'm talking about. It smells amazing. And if you keep your coffee in the fridge, it keeps it smelling and tasting fresh a lot longer. Okay, so a scoop is about 2/3 of a cup. So I'm gonna take about that much coffee, which I know that seems like a lot, but I just scoop it in there. I don't use the whole thing. I kind of just fill it up, probably about a half of what I just scooped. And then I put my cup under here, and I do the specialty. Right down there at the bottom, it says specialty 4-ounce concentrated. That is going to make kind of almost like an espresso shot. So whenever it starts to brew and melts over the ice melts down and waters that coffee down. So that's why I do that. And I actually hit this button once, let it brew, and then I hit it one more time and let it brew halfway through. So I pretty much do a 6-ounce of an espresso shot. So I just kind of stand here and wait. Back to the coffee. Coffee is brewed. This is what it looks like. So now I'm going to add in my coffee creamer, and I just kind of go up to that line right there, like that. I grab a straw, and I do a good stir. I don't add sugar or anything like that. It's not my thing. I just like coffee with creamer, and that is it. That is my iced coffee. All right, so now that we got our coffees, I got my basket of laundry here. I'm gonna work on folding some laundry. While we talk, I have actually another load out in the dryer to go grab in just a minute when I'm done folding this, and we'll just get all the laundry done together. So the very first question I got was from Ashley. She said, I love your channel so much. Thank you for sharing everything budget friendly and always keeping it real. My question is, what is the most positive and the most negative effect that you have experienced while having your YouTube channel? So the most positive, I would say, would definitely be starting to earn an income. I remember that being so exciting, and I think it was really exciting for us because, you know, we were at like rock bottom financially. Like, we were definitely struggling big time. We could hardly afford our bills, and then like saving money was out of the question. So we were just kind of stuck. And I remember getting that first notification that I earned $5, and I was so excited. I screenshotted it, I sent it to my sister-in-law, and I was like, I did it, I'm making money on YouTube. And then the next amount went up, and it was like $20, and then it was $30. And I remember just feeling just like a sigh of relief that I finally was there. Like, I was finally earning an income from home. I didn't have to pay for daycare because I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. If you work a minimum wage job, it's almost impossible to pay for childcare unless you have family to help you out with childcare. Like, you're basically working to pay for childcare. It's very difficult. So working for me wasn't really the best option unless I worked overnight shift, which I did in the past. It was very difficult having 2 children, so it really wasn't something I could physically do when I had my son. But it's not that I couldn't do it. I could do anything if I really had to. We just chose to basically live paycheck to paycheck. But the point is, the most positive effect would definitely be earning an income. And I think, you know, if you've ever been at like rock bottom financially, any little amount that you can start earning from home is just absolutely life-changing. So I felt incredibly grateful for that. And then of course, along with that, I would say definitely gaining confidence in myself. I think I feel as if I've gained a lot of confidence when it comes to my projects and tackling things head on. Like, I would have never imagined that I would do an accent wall by myself or do an entire laundry room or a full bedroom makeover alone, and I am just very proud of how far I've come so far. So that, and I've made amazing relationships here on YouTube. I've met some amazing women. I have 2 friends that I talk to on a regular basis from my YouTube channel, and I would not be their friend if it wasn't for my channel. So definitely lots of positives have come from YouTube. It's not always a negative, horrible place like I know some people think it may be in their eyes, but I think YouTube can be a life-changing platform for a lot of people, and I'm very thankful for all of you who watch and support my channel. So thank you all very much. It means the world to me. Also, along with the negative, I would say definitely receiving hate comments was really hard at first. I remember like being the first year into having a YouTube channel and starting to get hate was like, oh my gosh, this sucks, like this is sad. I felt so bad. I remember like people really cutting deep, you know, like really, like it would sting a lot, and I was like, why are people so mean? But the truth is, over time you really do like gain a thick skin and you learn how to deal with them, and I kind of just laugh it off and move on. I used to, when I first started my channel, I used to feel like I needed to defend myself, especially when people would say mean, hurtful things that weren't true. I would be like, you know, you're totally wrong, like you need to understand. And I felt like I had to explain to them, but I would like talk to my family and friends about it, and they're like, stop explaining yourself, like you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. And they were like, you know, you're a good person, you know that you're doing the best you can, and just ignore them. And like I said, eventually I just got a thicker skin, and I have learned to kind of deal with it a little bit better. Of course, I still get comments here and there that are mean, and like I said, they sting for a second, but then I can let it go. But that was probably the most negative, was about 1.5 years in when I started to receive a lot of hate. Next up, how did each of your fur babies join the family? Were they rescues? And did you get them as puppies? So all of our dogs have come from like random people. They weren't from like rescue centers or anything like that. So Honey, we actually found a Craigslist ad for her, and she came, we ended up paying I think $150 or $200 for her. And you guys, she was ate up with mange. This is why it's really important to go through like an actual like rescue center somewhere where like the dogs are treated beforehand, because holy moly, Honey was in rough shape. You wouldn't know it now because she's got a beautiful coat, but that poor girl had no hair when she was like about 6 months old. She lost all of it, and I had to take her to the vet and have her dipped multiple times. But her name became Honey because she's sweet as honey. And then Little, we got her from a friend of a friend. We paid for her as well, and she was so little, so that's how her name became Little. And then Zoey, we got her from my mom's boyfriend's friend, and unfortunately something happened to the mama dog. I don't remember, I don't want to say it wrong and like lie to you guys, but either she got hit by a car, I want to say that's what happened, or she like ran off and stopped nursing. But they needed all the puppies to go to a home, and they were giving them away for free. So I snagged Zoey. I saw her and I just fell in love with her. So that's how we got Zoey, and her name became Zoey because I remember looking at like apps for like dog names, and I remember Zoey just fitting her because she was like really spunky and just funny, and I felt like Zoey just fit really well. So that's how her name became Zoey, and all of them were puppies when we got them. Let's see, Karen asked, just wondering if you're ever planning on building on the family land and move to the country. And I actually got quite a bit of questions asking if we are selling our house and moving. Some of you actually thought that we were selling our house whenever I did a makeover, like when I switched the rooms and like we were doing the patio and stuff. And truly, we are just doing that because I really wanted to do those things. It's not that we're selling or anything. I am not against selling and moving, but you guys, right now I'm scared. I'm scared to move. I'm scared to like even try because everything is so expensive and I don't want to be like upside down in a home, but I also really love living below our means. We have done an amazing job at that. Like buying this house, at the time when we bought this house, we bought it based off of my husband's income. At that time I wasn't really making money on YouTube consistently, so we couldn't even use that to buy this house. So of course living here is well in our budget, and I just can't imagine buying a house right now and paying double, almost triple what I pay now. Like I prefer to live below our means, and right now prices are so high, and it's not that it would be not worth it, because if we had the land, which is what we really want ultimately long term, if we had enough land with this house currently, I could live here for the rest of my life. Yeah, I miss being out in the country for sure. I don't like living in the city. I don't like having neighbors super close to me. I like my privacy. Like I really like my privacy. I don't like walking out in my neighbor, like in my driveway, and like the neighbors can like hear me open my door. I don't like that. And all of our neighbors are nice, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, I want to be able to walk outside in my pajamas and not worry if the neighbors can see me. So anyway, not anytime soon. Maybe one day we will sell and buy land. If something comes up and it's like the right price and it feels right, then I'm not opposed to selling, but everything would have to line up perfectly, and right now it's not lining up perfectly, so not anytime soon. Okay, moving on. Did you go to art school or study interior design or go to school in general? I've had that question asked quite a bit, if I've ever been to college or anything, and no, I could not afford it. I actually had a small scholarship. It wasn't like a full paid scholarship, just from good grades, but I did not take it because I was young and dumb, and I was like, I'm gonna follow my boyfriend to Georgia. You know, we all like fall in love and it all worked out in the end, but yeah, no, so I've never went to school. But I have always just really liked interior design. I've always, you know, dreamed of flipping houses. I remember watching, what is that show? Back in the day it was called something else, where they would like gut a home and then flip it. Why can't I think of what it's called? I'll try to leave it on the screen if I can remember, but there used to be this show I used to watch on HGTV, and they would like flip houses, and I remember just absolutely loving that show and wanting to do that for a living. Let's see, moving on. Would you ever purchase and live in a mobile home again? And how do you compare your mobile home to your house? Do you prefer one over the other? And then she also said you're very talented and creative, and you've made a cozy, beautiful home. Thank you so much. And that was Rebecca. So yes, I would definitely live in a mobile home again. I have nothing against mobile homes. The problem that I have ran into here in Florida is that where we live, mobile homes are just as much as buying a house. But the difference is the mobile homes in this area are really run down, are very old, need a lot of work. Or you could buy a house for the same price, lower mortgage overall because your insurance is lower, because mobile home insurance is really high here. So that's how we ended up in this house, because we couldn't even afford to buy a mobile home. Can you believe that? We could only get approved for an FHA loan, and we could not get approved for a conventional loan at the time. We still can't for some reason. I don't know why. What's up with that? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so as far as the mobile home goes, I would totally live in a mobile home if we could, but we just can't find anything cheap enough. And like, here's the thing, I would love to buy land first, have the land paid for, and then find a mobile home that we can buy using the money that we make off of this house, or even building a small house, because I don't want anything big. So I think overall the cost would be the same, and it just is a matter of structure. And I will be 100% real with you guys, I would choose a actual house like this over a mobile home, based solely off of the storms and structure wise, because I've lived in a single wide trailer. It is absolutely terrifying in storms, absolutely terrifying. Yeah, I'm just being real here. I'm terrified of storms. I see so many stories of like tornadoes coming through, and you guys, we get tornado warnings all the time here, and it just terrifies me, especially buying an older mobile home, which is what we would be able to afford. The new mobile homes are like so expensive. It's cheaper to buy a house than to buy a mobile home here. I've said that like 100 times, but y'all catch my drift. I'm just saying, as far as like one or the other, definitely a house. And something else I wanted to point out. So when we lived in Georgia in our single wide trailer, we had to deal with mice every winter. We had to deal with roaches during the like summer, because they would like come in for the cracks and crevices up underneath the trailer. It's not that we were dirty, we had bug spray and stuff. I have never had that experience in this house. We don't ever see bugs, like knock on wood, but we don't ever see roaches or mice or anything in this house. Maybe we're just lucky, but this house must be sealed really great because we've had no problems. In our trailer, we had issues every single winter and every summer. So that's another like pro and con, I guess you gotta try to decide. But I'm not against living in a mobile home. I could care less. I'll just do what it takes to, you know, keep it clean and keep the rodents out, and yeah. Anyway, moving on. How many hours a week do you spend working on your channels? Do you have a time management tips or tips for others that have YouTube channels? So I would say I definitely work full time on my YouTube channel for sure. But I don't have time management tips, honestly, because I mean, I have young children. It's really hard to have a time management right now. Life is so crazy. It's so unpredictable. Some days I have more time than others, and I honestly just work when I can, when I have a free moment. So I wish I had better advice for you, but I don't. And that was April at home, by the way. She does have a YouTube channel. Really fast, just as a quick little break, I wanted to share her channel with you guys if you are interested. She shares a lot of farmhouse decorating and DIYs and stuff like that, and I feel like she is so sweet and down to earth. Not only that, but she has this very like calm presence about her that just makes me feel relaxed, and I love that about people. So if you do go over and check her out, let her know that I sent you, and I hope you enjoy her channel as much as I do. Next up, Managing the Motherload said, how do you stay you? And thank you for doing that. She also left a pretty long comment basically saying that she's watched a lot of YouTubers that change over time and become unrelatable. And she said, I would love to spend $300 at Target every day, but my bank account says no ma'am. Mine says no ma'am too. I feel like, okay, so as far as like staying budget friendly, I would definitely say that that's just something I'm really passionate about. I was passionate about it before I started my channel, and then after starting my channel, being able to do, you know, more projects and share better projects and get better over time and still keep them affordable is something that I really find joy in. So I just feel like it comes pretty easy to stick to like more budget friendly decorating and projects. But yeah, I feel like, you know, over time we all, you know, change. I think we all kind of, most of us change for the better, or we try. I feel like the person I was when I first started my channel compared to now is completely different, but not necessarily in a bad way. So sometimes like when I'm watching a YouTuber and I start to see their personality change, and maybe it's someone that I don't, you know, vibe with like I once did, I just simply just stop watching them and try to find the people that bring joy to my life, because life is too short to waste your time watching someone who makes you feel less than, or watching someone that, you know, doesn't bring you value to your life. So try to like find the people who bring actual tips and value to you, because then it'll be enjoyable to watch and it won't make you feel like you're comparing. So that's what I try to do. Moving on. Someone asked about, my mom asked if she was, did I already talk about this? I may have already mentioned this. I don't remember. I've talked so much I can't remember. Someone asked if my mom had found a new place and why she's not in my videos anymore, which my mom really wasn't in my videos a whole lot. I shared a few videos of me like fixing up her house and stuff, but you know, it was never my intention to like film my family all the time or anything like that. I, you know, try to keep my family life private. I just think it's really important to have, you know, your private life, and then, you know, things that you share on social media. There has to be some type of divide, or I would have absolutely no private life. So But she's fine. She's actually living with my grandma, in case I didn't mention that. Where do you store your cleaning supplies and equipment? I actually store them just wherever. Like, I actually have my mop right here, my Bissell Crosswave. I haven't even put it away. The vacuum, I think, is in my bedroom right now. I honestly just leave my cleaning supplies out. Like, as far as like cleaners go, they go underneath the cabinets, but vacuums, brooms and stuff, they just kind of go wherever. And if someone comes over, I quickly clean up and I hide them. I put them out in the shed, or I'll put them like in my closet or something like that so no one sees them. But why are we so scared for people to see our cleaning supplies? Tell me that. Like, why is it like we hide our vacuums and our mops and things? I don't understand. Like, why we do that. But it's like, as soon as someone comes over, we're like, oh my gosh, put the vacuum away. We're like, you know, like, put the mop away. Don't let them see the broom. Let's hide it. I don't know. It's just funny to me. Okay, Kristen asked, what is your biggest inspiration that really pushed you into decorating? So, definitely, I remember specifically this one moment. We lived in our first single wide trailer. I had just gotten a big sectional. I bought the sectional from this guy in the military. He was moving and he sold me his huge sectional. It was pretty much the same as the one I had before, but it was microfiber. And he sold it to me for $300. And I remember spending some of our income tax on that because we, you know, didn't have a whole lot of money back then. So I was so excited to get that couch. It was like really nice. And it was that moment that I started to realize how much I really loved home decor, because I would move my house around almost every single day. I'm not even kidding you. You can ask my family. I would like take pictures, send it to my mom. I'd take pictures, send it to my husband. What do you think about this layout? What do you think about this? I would constantly move the TV stand, the kitchen. I changed a million times, and that was when I really started to learn that I liked it, and I started to ponder the idea of starting a YouTube channel, but I was terrified putting myself out there. And I had gotten a camera from my husband because he knew I wanted to start a channel, and I talked about it, so he bought me like a nice camera, and I was gonna start taking photography on the side to make money. And he's like, and here, you know, you can start filming for YouTube if you want to. And I remember I did my first home tour in that trailer on that camera, and yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to look back and think like I should have started my channel then, because I mean, I wonder where I would be now had I started back when I really wanted to. But I got nervous and I didn't post again for like a whole year, and then I started uploading again, and that's when I started to be really consistent. I hope that made some sense. I feel like I just rambled so fast. In my mind it makes sense, so hopefully y'all have like kind of stayed on track. Anyway, moving on. When will the next video come out? So the next video you will see after this one is going to be the fireplace makeover, hopefully. If everything goes smoothly and we can get that thing built with no problem this weekend, then that will be the next video. But who knows? I can't promise anything, because the moment I promise a video, it never goes as planned, and then I feel so bad for not sticking to my word. I don't like to do that. So I'm not going to promise, but that should be the next video. Everyone's obsessed with Zoey. I love that. You guys are so funny. You know what's crazy is Zoey is like the type of dog that I feel like every family needs. I truly believe that. Like, every family needs a dog that is nosy and funny and quirky and just like, I don't know. There's just something about her that she just brings joy to not only my life, but I can just tell that you guys really get a kick out of seeing her. And her personality is just next level. I really, really love my baby. I'm trying to get to all of these. Sorry it's taking me so long. I feel like I'm talking so much and not getting to enough questions. So Pam asked, are you going to do any more makeovers up at your family's cabin? That was so awesome. And how did you become so good at using tools? And she said, we have the cutest kids ever. So thank you so much, Pam. I really appreciate that. And yes, cabin makeovers are coming soon. I'm gonna be doing the kitchen up there, and I think it's like the second week of April I have planned to do a makeover up there. But I had to wait because everyone was kind of using the house, and I can't go in there and like gut the place or like do anything crazy when the house is being used. So I have to wait till it's like empty. So I will be doing that in April, sometime in the beginning of April. Gosh, it keeps doing this. It keeps like scrolling all the way down to the bottom. I'm getting so many comments on this, you guys. I'm never gonna be able to get to all of them. And then as far as like using tools, sorry Pam, I wanted to kind of get to this too. I just practiced, but I did come from a family who is like in construction, so I've seen my dad use tools, my mom, my brothers, and my husband uses tools occasionally at work too. So I mean, I've been around them my whole life. I just practice makes progress. Someone asked, how do you have so much energy and motivation? Do you eat healthy or take vitamins or supplements? So I do take vitamins, just like a multivitamin, and then I take like hair, skin, and nails recently because my hair is falling out like crazy. But I think it's because we had COVID. I believe we had COVID. I'm not 100% because we never were tested. We just kind of quarantined because we assumed we did. I lost my taste and smell. That was the key sign. And I'm pretty sure that I'm having the after hair loss. And I didn't think it at the time, but I'm starting to think it now because a lot of people brought it to my attention. And I was like, oh man, so maybe that is a symptom from it. But I'm just trying to take hair, skin, and nail vitamins and my multivitamin. But as far as like energy goes, I've always just been an energetic person. But being motivated sometimes is a struggle for me because I can have all the energy in the world, but it's not even that I don't have the motivation. It's kind of figuring out what to do because I'm like all over the place mentally. If you haven't noticed, I'm kind of like high strung, I guess. And I don't even like saying that because that sounds bad, but it's just hard for me to focus on one task at a time. I jump from project to project. So the motivation's there. I just need better time management. But I try. But I don't like do anything, and I don't eat healthy, trust me. I fluctuate weight really, really quickly. Like I go between 20 pounds like nonstop because of the way I eat. If I ate healthy, I'd probably be a toothpick because of how energetic I am. But we eat good. I eat good. Not good, but like I eat a lot, even though I shouldn't. But I love food, what can I say? Anyway, someone asked, how long have you been married? So Dylan and I have been married for 4 years. We have been together total for 12 years. And we just have our 2 children, Amaya and Kaden, and no, we are not having any more children. Unless we ever adopt, like down the line, which is something I would really love to do, but I want it to be right. Like I want it to come up in the right time. I've always had it in the back of my mind that I would adopt. I feel like I've told my husband this since we pretty much started having children, that I have always felt that at some point in our life we will adopt. And I don't know like when or why or what makes me think that, but I just have always had it in the back of my mind. I do want more children, I just cannot have them. So so that answers those questions about having babies. And you know, something else, I know this is like something I get a lot. People see that like I fluctuate weight and automatically assume that I'm pregnant, or assume that someone's pregnant because they gain weight. Try to keep in mind that there's a lot of people struggling with like infertility or you know, just like weight gain and weight loss in general. So try to be mindful of that before asking those questions. I know sometimes we don't mean any harm, but if you look at the bigger picture from the outside perspective, like it can be very hurtful. I get comments a lot asking if I'm pregnant just because of the way my body is shaped. So just wanted to throw that out there as just a friendly reminder to just be careful how we word things and what we say. But I didn't take no offense to your comment, by the way. I know that you're new and you didn't know as far as like not having any more kids, and you didn't say anything offensive. I just wanted to clarify that. Let's see. Are you planning on building on your family property? I've already talked about that. Maybe one day we'll buy land and build a house or put a trailer on it or something, but right now we're just not there yet. Oh, so I like this question. She said it's a silly question. It's not a silly question. There's never a bad or silly question. But she said, do you have a fly problem in the summer, or is it just mosquitoes? The fly problem is real. And mosquitoes, they're bad here, especially where we live. Like during the summers, we can't open our door without like 5 flies flying in. So yeah, we definitely have an issue with flies too. Don't feel bad. My camera's about to die. I'm gonna go switch the battery and then we're gonna go grab some more laundry because I got more laundry to fold. All right, so I'm out in the laundry room now. I'm gonna grab this laundry. put it in this basket here. So Kelly asked, what are your summer plans? So this summer we are doing another beach trip. We usually try to do some type of like family vacation at least once a year. We don't do a whole lot of vacations, believe it or not. It's just my husband's a homebody, so if we do anything like as a family, we usually go like walk a nature trail, or we go up to the property that my family owns. But we are doing a summer family trip to Anna Maria Island, same as we did last year, because we love the place that we stayed in and it was beautiful, so relaxing, and we definitely want to do that again. So Angela said, has anyone ever told you you look like Julia Stiles? Yes, I get that comment actually a whole lot. And I definitely see it. And you know what's funny? You know that movie that she plays in, Save the Last Dance? That was my favorite movie as a kid. I used to watch it like all the time. But, yeah, I definitely see it for sure. And I always have gotten comments that I look like the woman Zoey from The Heart of Dixie, but I feel like I only look like her when I'm super thin. Like when we first bought this house and I was at like my smallest weight that I've been since I had the kids, I could definitely see that we had similarities for sure. A lot of questions about my husband's job. So he's an electrician. I don't know if I answered this question yet, but someone asked, what did I do before becoming a YouTuber? I worked at McDonald's and I worked at Walgreens as a beauty advisor. So that was fun. I actually really enjoyed working at McDonald's, believe it or not. It was a very fast-paced job. And yeah, I mean, my days went by really quick. I got paid good. Did I say I was a manager? I don't know if I said that, but I was a manager there. And so it wasn't too bad. The hard part about being a manager at like a fast food restaurant, if you work in fast food, you know what I'm talking about, is like whenever your crew members don't show up for work and then you end up having to take on the load of like being a manager and the crew member at the same time. That was the struggle, and I used to have to deal with that a lot. Because I mean, I'm sure they deal with it a lot now. I can only imagine what it's like the times we're in where like people are getting sick a lot more. So yeah, I'm sure it's tough. Trying to see if I got any other questions. Oh, I got another question about Zoey, what breed she was. I forgot to mention that earlier. So this is a very common question because everyone loves Zoey and her personality, but she's a Catahoula leopard and a pit mix. So that's what she is. If you Google it, you'll see dogs that look just like her. A little bit different, but very similar to her. The thing that kind of surprises me about Zoey is that she has like the underbite where like her bottom teeth stick out a lot further than her top teeth. And I don't know if that's just like, you know, something maybe like her mom was mixed with. Maybe it was like, I don't know. It's just surprising because her sister does not have that. My mom has Zoey's sister, by the way. And she looks totally different than Zoey. Sorry, I'm trying to get this laundry. That's probably so distracting. I want to make sure that I get all these. I should have like went through and did this better. But you know, I'm a very casual person. I want to say, I don't see it right now, I can't find it, but I think someone asked, I remember reading it, someone asked what was my zodiac sign, I believe. I'm a Sagittarius. I was born in December. Okay, next up, how did you and your husband meet? So we actually met through our family. So our family knows each other. Dylan's stepdad and his little brother actually lived with my family for a while, and then Dylan would come down from Georgia to come visit his mom, and that's how we met initially. And then we obviously were not together for a long time. I didn't start dating Dylan until I was 17, but we have known each other since I was probably about 13 or 14. I can't remember how old we were when we first met, but anyway, yeah, family is how we met, and then we just kind of hit it off. We've been together ever since. Speaking of that, someone asked if he gets aggravated that I move around the house a lot, and no, not at all. It does not bother him one bit. He could care less. I've shared this a million times, but on his mind, when he walks in the door, he likes to come home to a clean home. Of course, what man doesn't? I think every man enjoys, they might not say it, they might not express it, but I can almost guarantee you that every guy loves to walk through the front door and have a fresh, clean house, laundry done, dinner going, or dinner being planned of some sort. Especially after working all day, last thing they want to come home to is chaos. Dylan unfortunately comes home to chaos like 5 days a week, but yeah, he doesn't mind if I move the house around. And I'm totally joking, by the way, in case you didn't know that I'm a joker. I joke a lot, and sometimes it might not sound like I'm actually joking, but I promise. Salt Creek Farmstead said, how do you get over the fear of putting your life on YouTube? That's where I'm stuck with my channel, frozen by fear. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just be like, okay, so for me, for instance, I put myself out there on YouTube, but I don't share all of my life. I don't share very personal details. I'm still very vague about what I share. Like, I'm personal enough, but not too personal to where I feel uncomfortable. When I first started my channel, I didn't know that healthy balance, but now moving forward, I definitely have found it. And yeah, I mean, you gotta learn as you go, but I think one of my biggest advices for starting a channel is just to be careful what you put out there, because it's out there forever. Like, once you put it out there, somebody's watched it, somebody's seen it, they know now, you know. And I've learned the lesson, and you know, life is about learning. You have to sometimes make mistakes to grow as a person. And yeah, just don't be scared. Just, if something scares you, then it shouldn't be something that you share. If you're scared to share like personal stuff, then there's a reason why you're scared, so don't share it. Find things that you can share that don't make you nervous. And that's kind of what I do. I just, you know, I touch the surface of my life, but there's still a lot more that I don't go into detail about, which is important not only for our privacy. What in the heavens earth is going on around here? Our neighbors must be having a party or something, because there's like people pulling in my driveway and like backing up, and I don't know. Okay, so someone said that they were confused about the land and the ranch house. Did you used to live there in a separate house or in the same cabin but in a different room? So yeah, we lived at the same place. We just lived, or we lived in the same house, but we've stayed in a different room because the room that I redid was actually occupied by a bunch of crap. If y'all saw the video, then you could see it was full of like a bunch of stuff that did not belong to me. And when we first moved there, I didn't have the funds to redo the camp or the house at all. Like, I couldn't redo that home. As much as I would have loved to paint and do things, I just wasn't there financially. And now that I am, I'm more than happy to do those makeovers and share them with you guys. But I try to do that. I try to do them not only budget friendly, not for just myself, but for you guys too, to give you ideas. But makeovers are very, very expensive, and this is why there's not a whole lot of budget friendly decorators, because it is difficult. It takes a lot of time to come up with a beautiful space on such a fraction of the price. There's a lot of hunting that goes into it, finding inexpensive furniture, free furniture, then restoring that furniture. Doing a lot of the work yourself is also very hard sometimes too, because you got to you know, do like the laborious stuff alone whenever you could pay someone else to do that for you. So that's the part of the budget friendly decorating that's hard. But the whole point of the question was asking, did we live there? We did live there for 6 months when we first moved to Florida, because we didn't have anywhere else to go. We took a risk, which looking back now sounds really stupid. Like, at the time it sounded like a great idea, but the fact that we picked up our family of 4 and 3 dogs and moved out of state to have absolutely nowhere to go, which we did have somewhere to go. We could live there. It's not like we were on a time crunch or anything. We were, as long as we paid the electric bill and the cost of us living there, we were allowed to stay there as long as we wanted. But it's just, it wasn't ours, you know, it wasn't our space, and I don't like renting. I prefer to have my own space, somewhere that I can decorate and paint and put holes in the wall. Like, I want to be able to do that kind of stuff, and so renting wasn't an option. So we lived at the ranch until we were able to buy a house. But like I said, at that time I just couldn't afford to do the makeovers until now. By the way, I wanted to pause the video and say thank you all for making that possible, because truly without your help, I would not be where I'm at today and reaching these goals of being able to decorate outside of my home and do these makeovers that I do. A lot of that credit goes to you guys, and I hope you know how much I truly appreciate all of you. I'm trying to read these, sorry. I look mad when I'm reading. Sometimes my eyes get all squinted concentrating. A lot of questions about my family. I'm pretty sure I answered all of them. That's the first time I've ever gotten to every question. Obviously, I kind of like summed some of them up just to make it a little faster, but yeah, I mean, I think I got to all of them. So, I hope you guys got to know me a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed watching and hanging out with me. I cannot believe I've just sat here for over 30 minutes. This is ridiculous. I gotta get some stuff done. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below and I will try to maybe answer those in a future video. But yeah, I'll see all of you in my next one. Bye.